Hello everyone. Crisis in Ukraine prompted both European Union and Russia to exchange economic sanctions, and if the situation will continue, then energy security of European Union as a whole and Baltic region in particular can be jeopardized. So in this note, I would like to review the energy dependence situation on Russia, and in particular dependence on gas imports, and state that dependency is not the same as insecurity. So let's have a look what is the situation in the Baltics and Finland. So overall import of gas is the highest in Finland. You can see it's 3.6 billion cubic meters of gas, followed by Lithuania, Latvia, and just a small amount in Estonia. So basically Finland and Lithuania, marked in red, have the biggest absolute exposure to gas imports from Russia. However, if we look at relative exposure, so if we look at share in primary energy consumption, what's the share of gas in primary consumption, we see that Lithuania is the leading country with 37% of all energy consumed derived from gas. Latvia follows the second, and Estonia and Finland has only 9% of exposure. So in relative terms, Lithuania and Latvia are the most exposed countries. But in spite of this, the third line is very indicative of dependency on Russia, is that import share from Russia in all of these countries is 100%. And the fourth line says that there is no existing import alternatives for any of those countries. So all of those countries completely depend on imports from Russia, just the differences in the amounts and in relative importance of gas in the economy. So potentially any turbulence or restrictions of gas exports from Russia to European Union may have a substantial effect on those economies. And if you look which sectors consume gas in each of the countries, we see that Lithuania is very special in this case, because more than 50% of all gas is consumed by industry. So we have fertilizer industry, which uses gas to produce fertilizer. So in case there will be some disruptions, then we can expect that these companies will stop operating, and it will result in increased unemployment and loss in GDP values. The second most important source is electric energy. In Finland, Lithuania, and Latvia, this is an important source, except in Estonia, as we can see. It's because Estonia has shale oil and they're burning their own gases. But still Estonia has some exposure, industry, as we can see, and they still use a lot for heating. Yeah. Estonia winters are relatively cold. So that's an overview showing that, yes, if we just look at dependence, then the situation is relatively serious, because we can see that there's a big potential for turbulence in industry, in electricity market, and also in heating market. But then, this is only one side of the coin. Let's have a look what other security enhancing factors countries have. Because it may look that since countries are fully dependent, 100% dependent on Russian imports, then as soon as the gas stops flowing to these countries, we will run out of gas, which is actually not the case. So let's take a look, first of all, at gas storage facilities. And we see that Latvia has a very huge gas storage facility in Inčukalns, which is capable of storing 150% of annual Latvian consumption. So basically, Latvia can not only provide gas to Latvian customers for more than 1 year, but also, in case of very big emergency, can help its neighbors, Estonia and Lithuania, which in fact it is doing, as you can see from this graph. So this graph shows, it's a very interesting graph because it shows the imports of gas throughout the years. And you can see that in winter, when winter comes, say in Finland and Lithuania, so those two lines, the imports increase dramatically because there is more energy needs for electricity and for heating, and in summer it drops. Whereas in Latvia this is an area in dark blue, you can see that Latvians import more in summer and they're not importing much in winter. So basically what Latvians are doing, they are doing opposite. They buy gas from Russia when it is cheap and abundant, and then don't buy it and use it or even sell it to the neighbors in winter. So what's the situation now? Now the storage is almost complete. So basically Latvians and also Lithuanians and Estonians can feel very safe for at least 6-7 months. So basically we have security, which is not the case actually in Finland. So even though Finland doesn't have very high relative and absolute exposure to gas imports, Finland doesn't have any way to store gas, and Finland doesn't have any other connection, so it is actually more vulnerable to gas shortages than Baltic states. Another thing, like security enhancing factor, is that Lithuania is a transit country to Kaliningrad district, and Kaliningrad and Lithuania for Kaliningrad district is the only way to import gas. So actually it helps a little bit to give extra security, because in very emergency, yes, I don't suggest that, but as it was in Ukraine case, yeah, you can siphon off some of the exports going from mainland to Kaliningrad. And then the third thing is very important, that Lithuania will have already in a few months liquid gas terminal in Klaipėda, which in this way it will be the first country and the only country in the region to have alternative supplies of gas. And the capacity of this terminal is approximately 60 to 70% of annual gas consumption in Lithuania. So this is again very much enhancing security and enhancing factor. Estonia and Finland also have plans in 2018, whereas Latvia so far doesn't have plans. Maybe they don't need it because they have the storage facility. So if we take into consideration all the factors, so if we take absolute exposure, relative exposure, and supply insecurity, we in fact see that supply insecurity in Latvia in short term is actually very low. In Lithuania it's medium, in Estonia say it's high, and in Finland it's actually very high. In the long term, however, Lithuania will move from medium to low, because we have, in addition to that, we will have liquid gas terminal, Klaipėda, as you can see here in December 2014. Latvia, however, will move to high, because we will need gas to refill the storage facility, and Estonia will still, together with Finland, will remain high, at least until 2018, 2020, when they are planning to build also their own liquid gas terminal. So in this way, they will have, one of the countries will have terminal, because they planned to have both of them, but then the European Commission rejected this plan. So one of them will have terminal. It's still not clear which at this period in time, and then we will build a connector pipeline which will connect terminal to the other countries. So in 2018 the situation will change, and this region will get very much independent from Russian gas. But so far situation is such that dependence is, yes, very high, but vulnerability For Latvia is low, Lithuania medium, Estonia yes high, Finland very high. Okay, thank you.